Hello everybody, welcome to the White Tiger Tarot. Thank you so much for being with me here today. Today's pick a card is all about your fire horse portal. So this year, we're coming into the year of the fire horse, and it is the Chinese New Year today as this reading's coming out. So we're going to take a look at what this means for you, kind of what this year is going to be about, what this portal is all about for you, the energy that it's pulling in, it's bringing in for you. That's what we're going to focus on and take a look at today. All right, so happy Chinese New Year, happy year of the fire horse. It feels like it's going to be an exciting one. I did some cleansing rituals. My mother told me to she heard about washing your front door with vinegar and cinnamon. So I did that. I don't know if you guys have heard of anything. I also heard today not to basically wash anything, like not to wash your hair, your clothes. She even heard like don't cry. And she's going to a funeral, so that's going to be very difficult. But yeah, so there's all of these things because you basically don't want to wash away the luck on this day. So anyway, let me know if you guys have done any cleansing or anything like that, or heard of anything about today and kind of what to do or what not to do. Anyways, so I'm going to introduce your piles here one at a time for you. All right, we have 3 piles today. We also have our numbers. So we'll introduce your piles one at a time, and then we're going to pick numbers. These are numbers from 1 to 12. Okay, and since we have 3 piles, we're going to do 4 numbers per pile. All right, now this is just an option for those who would like it. Okay, and yeah, this could be like a random number, a favorite number, a life path number, birthday, birth month, random, angel number that you've been seeing. So completely up to you how you pick your pile today. So let's begin, all right? We have the amethyst for pile number 1. Okay. And the instinct card. And pause the video here if you don't have your number yet. I'm going to close my eyes. We're going to pick 4 numbers for pile number 1. Okay, first number is 2. $11. 1 and 10. 2, 11, 1, and 10 for pile number 1. Pile number 2 has the rhodonite. Okay. And your card is the King of Pentacles. Okay, and your numbers for pile number 2 are 8, 6, 7, and 5. So you have 5, 6, 7, 8 for pile number 2. All right, pile number 3 has the halite. And your card is Vision, number 41. And your numbers for pile number 3 are 12, 9, 4, and 3. 12, 9, 4, and 3 for pile number 3. All right, so with that being said, I'll give you guys a few moments to meditate on the piles here, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is your fire horse portal. And we're going to take a look at what this energy means for you. So what this fire horse energy that we're moving into within this year, within the Chinese New Year today, kind of what that looks like for you, what that means for you, how it's affecting you or the energy in and around your life. All right, so you guys have the amethyst. Your numbers are 2, 11, 1, and 10. And your card is instinct. Okay, so this to me just feels like our instincts, our intuition is growing stronger. Our trust in self and spirit, right? Our guides, God, source energy, right? The divine is becoming stronger within us, right? And the ways becoming clearer. There's almost, it feels like this self-knowing, this self-assertion, right? Where we're trusting ourselves and our path at a much deeper level here than we ever have felt connected to before. So I'm going to get some more cards just to support this message, and let's dive in a little bit deeper here. It also, I'm getting the message that your instincts, like where you have led yourself so far in your life, is going to be proven to you as like, I made the right moves, right? I really led myself in the right direction. I really followed my instincts in the right ways. So yeah, we have the 8 of Wands with traveling. So look at, like, there's something here about a direction, right? 8 of Wands can talk about, you could be literally traveling a lot. And it's interesting because this is the year of the fire horse, which is like movement, right? And you think about a horse on fire, right? Where it's just a lot of fast movement or forward direction. We're kind of getting that here with the 8 of Wands. So there could be a lot of like climbing, right? A new direction, or furthering, heightening our path, going further along our path in a more committed, assured, self-assured, self-trusting kind of way, where we're almost finding ourselves, or we're finding our way, or our path's becoming clearer to us. Like, it doesn't feel like we're like, where do I go, or what do I do? Like, it just feels like I'm on this path. I know where I'm headed. The path is clear, right? It's clearing for me. Yeah, look at that. 6 of Wands with success. Yeah. You're being led to success. You're going to be having a lot of success this year. This is definitely the card. And again, we see the World. So again, your instincts are leading you in the right direction, especially if it's around traveling or movement, going somewhere new, maybe to learn something or try something different. It doesn't have to be physical movement, but there's a path that we're on, or we're beginning, or we will be beginning. And trust your instincts, right? Trust that instinct where it's leading you, because it's leading you to success, right? To maybe, being well known, being celebrated, right? It's just a huge moment for you where it's like, yes, I'm so glad I followed this path. I'm so glad maybe I took a chance on this. And so we have the Hangman with new vision. We have the 8 of Pentacles with ordinariness. And we have the Knight of Swords with mind. So this is a year for us to get out of our heads and that overthinking. And this year, we're going to be much more in our bodies, much more in our instincts, in our intuition. And that's what's leading us to this success, to this fulfillment. This is all about us really grounding into our mastery. Okay, it's like our instincts are grounding. And with this hangman, right, we're coming out of maybe the past years, the past little bit, we've been in maybe a more stagnant position. But there's something about us that's transforming, that's changing, right? Maybe about our vision, about what we're doing, about our path, or about who we are as a whole, right? There's something emerging through us, but it's grounding us more into our instincts, into who we truly are, and less we're moving out of the overworking mind, the doubt, the fear, the fear of judgment. Is this the right move? Should I do this? Will it hurt this person? Will this affect me in the wrong way? This is just like, I trust where I'm being led, right? I trust that why I have this interest to go to this place. I have to trust that. I have to move in that direction. And that's what's leading you to success. It's really grounding you in your mastery, and maybe in something specific within your purpose, path, passion. Sorry, much more sustainability in your work or in your passion, purpose. Okay. So, and at the bottom we have projections, 7 of Cups, which is also kind of a reflection of this mind, right? Moving out of coming from a place of the past, or coming from confusion of the emotion, right? Of like, what will they think, or what will this affect them in some way, or this happened last time, and so it kind of interferes with the instinctual movement. So that feels like that's going to be cleared up. It feels like there's a big clearing of your energy and a very clear path forward. Okay. Okay, so we have the Prince of Vessels, religious or spiritual figure, charity and kindness. And we have the Page of Swords, eagerness, enthusiasm, and future potential. This reminds me of the Ace. And then we have the Sin of Wrath, anger, rage, inability, incompetence, and conflict. And Sin of Sloth, laziness, sleep, tiredness, rest, relaxation, and home life. I'm going to check the bottom of the deck energy. So then we have the Ace of Vessels, pouring out blessings, success. So there's that keyword success again, right? And satiety. And then we have the Sin of Pride, appearance, vanity, physical well-being, Queen of Books, intelligence, advice, intuition, observation. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, so right away Spirit's bringing me the attention of how much these two reflect each other. Right, this Knight of Swords with the mind and the gears and it's wooden, it's overworked, and then we have the Sin of Wrath here, where he has some kind of like a table or something on his head. It's like blocking the anger or the overworking thoughts, right? Is clouding the mind, the conflict of the thoughts, right? There is something here about that's being removed. And then we have the complete opposite energy here right? With this Page of Swords, it's like the head is opening up, and there's a hand with the sword, clarity, knowledge, eagerness, enthusiasm, seeing the future potential. It's like there's a breakthrough, it feels like, of the mind. So I see that is what's coming through, is that you're breaking out of the overthinking, overworking mind this year and into more of those instincts, more of the faith, right? More of the trust in the path, and almost working on your inspirational drive. And that's really going to help your success, okay? And so that's something to also focus on. Like, is this coming from a place of fear, right? From a place of anger? You know, am I coming from a place of confusion or comparison? Or, you know, am I angry at the path or the speed, right? Instead of just having this eagerness, enthusiasm, knowing the path is lit up before me, okay? And I know that you guys are going to have more of that coming in, more of that eagerness, that clarity, that excitement, okay? It's going to be coming in more and more. Okay, and these, interestingly enough, these two are giving me the feeling that you're going to be working much more on faith instead of, because it's like, it feels like we're moving out of that overwork, overdoing, that creates burnout and creates anger, it creates impatience, right? And so this year is about relaxing, and not just relaxing as like doing nothing, because it feels like there's going to be lots moving to do, progress, right? With that Eight of Wands and that traveling, but it's going to be done in a different way. It's going to be done in a way that's less stressful, right? That's like, I can chill, and I know that if I'm chilling, that's what I'm meant to be doing, right? That my path, it's almost like you're going to be meeting people, places, and things along your path that help you move forward. So if you don't have an answer yet, it's going to be easier for you to trust that I'm not meant to know the answer just yet, instead of getting worked up about the speed of things, or like, I should know this should be happening. It's trusting that I will know when I need to know, right? And things are going to be done more ease, right? With more excitement, and in those more positive attitudes, positive feelings. And when those are there, when the energy is there, then we act. Then things are there to move. But when things are slow, right? I know that I have to go back into faith and patience, and when the time is right, I will receive what I need, right? By spirit, or by, you know, someone through spirit, right? To push me along my path, to give me charity, to give me kindness, to give me help, okay? To move me forward. And so, yeah, this year is all about receiving in a big way for you guys. Success, pouring out blessings, success, and satiety. And these blessings want to come in a more easeful way for you, right? Instead of this almost fighting against it, or putting ourselves, you know, working ourselves up with things we can't control. This is about opening up to receive blessings in the most easeful, peaceful, relaxed way, that leads to a more open mind, a more open path. So it's definitely, you're going to be receiving a lot, okay? And then we have the sin of pride with appearance, vanity, physical well-being. And then we have the Queen of Books, intelligence, advice, intuition, and observation. So this is very important here, and this is also a reflection of the same energy, because you see how this woman's head is covered. We see that here. We see that in the Knight of Swords, right? Something blocking the thoughts, blocking the vision, blocking the way, right? Because we're using too much of our head, right? Because we've been focused on the looks of things, the judgment of things, how this will look to other people if I'm not progressing, or if I go in this direction, how this is going to look. And so that's what was creating this kind of blockage, right, of progression, or just ease, right, or feeling that groundedness and that relaxedness within our path, okay? And so what's happening is there's a switch up here right? That's, look, now she has a book on her head. She has something on her head, but her eyes are not covered, right? And she's in a very peaceful state. It's because she's using her intelligence, yes, but also her intuition and her skills of observation. So she's observing the energy around her. She's observing what's going on. Is the energy slow, right? Okay, well, I'm not going to get angry about that. I'm not going to get worked up about that. I just know that I'm not meant to act right now. That maybe someone's meant to come in and give me some information that I need to help further me along. And so I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna wait for the energy to move until that eagerness, that fire is there, right? Until the energy, I observe the energy and saying, okay, it's time to receive. It's time to move. Okay, so it's going to be you're going to be much more in your instincts, in your observations of the energy and how to work and manipulate the energy in your favor. So you're not blocking yourself, you're not working yourself up, right? You're in tune with the flow of how things move this year, right? It's okay that it's not moving right now. It's not meant to. I'm meant to go within, I'm meant to relax, I'm meant to spend time with friends and family. I'm meant to, rest, okay? And then when I'm ready, the energy will be there, the fire will be there, the enthusiasm, the passion, the clarity, okay? Or the energy will come through via receiving, right? Through someone else or a gift or a blessing, okay? So this is all about us being more intelligent, more observant, and following those deeper intuitions and instincts instead of fighting against what's going on because of projections of fear or the past or how we think things should be done or would be done. So let's get some advice. Let's get some advice here for pile number 1 for this upcoming Fire Horse year. I mean, I think we've been given pretty good advice right there, right? Paying attention to the energy, but 8 of Pentacles, so you have that again. 9 of Cups. And the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so this year is basically about us focusing on creating something very important in our lives, right? 8 of Pentacles, there's going to be a lot of progress in something, right? And we see this lady, this is her passion, making quilts, okay? So it's going to be mostly around your passion, your everyday work life, your mastery, your service, okay? That's going to be a big highlight for you guys in your lives this year, is expanding and growing in your mastery, in the thing that you enjoy most, in your service, right? In your purpose, okay? Or in something you're very passionate about, something that, is very grounded, okay? There's more of a focus on that. And this year is also about hitting some kind of wish or dream around this area, okay? And so this could look like, really hitting that growth spurt that I've been hoping to hit in my career, in my work, right? My clientele, maybe, accomplishing a big project, finishing it off, right? But this instinct is going to be key, okay, in creating this. So this is about us now aligning with a deep wish or a deep dream. And maybe it's about uncovering what that passion is, right? By following our instincts, by taking this job or going to this new place, right? There's something there about us connecting with a deep wish, a deep dream around this. Maybe it's a spiritual mastery, right? My spiritual path. It's going to be different for all of you about what this is. But this Knight of Pentacles, it's us moving getting in flow with the energy. And the Knight of Pentacles is, yes, it's slow and steady, right? So it's going to be drawn over the next year, right? Where it's like we're making slow progress, but it's very, very steady progress, right? It's amazing growth. And we're going to have a lot of success. So we just have to be very observant of where the energy's at, to move in harmony with it, right? To not bypass or want to rush anything. We're coming into more of a grounded movement, right? Where it's like, okay, this is the next step. Let's do that. Making sure everything's really solid and firm and growth is really consistent. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. This is a year of building, growing, okay, collaborating. It's time to build on something that I think has been delayed. You've been waiting for. Maybe you've been waiting for a sense of growth or physical growth, building something, maybe working with others or bringing others on. Okay, and it's just been like all these ideas, but maybe nothing grounded. So this is a year of actually having grounded growth, grounded expansion, right? New experience coming in, opening up to new experiences, and taking a lot of action. Like there is going to be a lot of movement and a lot of progress, okay, in this area. Okay, so let's get one last message for you guys before we go. So we have the Ten of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. And I just want to check the bottom of the deck. We have the Knight of Wands, Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups. Okay. So I'm seeing her having to drag a lot of stuff here where it feels heavy. You know, things, it almost feels like you're doing, okay, this might be a message for some. It's not going to hit exactly on the nose with everyone, but it almost feels like you were doing too much, right? Where you're almost fighting against your own progress within the mind, right? With the anger and the frustration of the progress because we weren't in flow with the energy. And so it's the end of having to work too hard, okay, to create progress, to create more income, to create, you know, better, you know, progress in our craft or in what we do. This is a year about, look, she's just pruning, right? She's just pruning the tree. She's not like dragging, you know, cutting it all down, starting again, dragging all this heaviness. She's just pruning the leaves, right? So this is a year of pruning and making more progress with just these small movements and small improvements than you have in this past like whole period of time where you've been building this thing or you've been really working to get it going, right? That felt very heavy. This year, it's going to feel like just maintenance, right? Just a little bit here and a little bit there. And it's like, I'm really getting the hang of how to grow this and much more abundance for myself, right? So it's about working with our inspired action, right? When I feel inspired, I act, right? Or I'm feeling, okay, I'm feeling my instincts pushing me here, right? And that's how we stay in a state of love and harmony by using our intuition, right? By using that deep, powerful instinct that we all carry, right? It's getting more in tune with that and more in tune with love. Does this feel good, right? If it doesn't, maybe I'm not meant to act right now or it's not the right direction. So getting more in tune with love, with our instinct, and acting in that manner, okay? So honoring ourselves and honoring how we feel, okay? Instead of pushing those feelings aside and just pushing through just to create some kind of, work, just because that feels better to work than to not, right? Okay, so pile number 1. That is your reading today. So much more harmony, much less stress, much less, a lot less heavy lifting this year, and much more maintenance with a lot more progress. So that's really great. And so I feel like you're going to be moving in a much more smooth way with a lot more success. Okay, so beautiful. I hope this reading helped you out. Please let me know in the comments if it did. Also, let me know by giving me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to know more about your own situation, you can book a personal reading with me down in the description box. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the next reading. All of my love. Peace. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is all about your fire horse portal. Today is the Chinese New Year. This is the year of the fire horse. It is beginning today. So we're going to check that out, what that means for you, kind of what this next year is going to be focused upon and how that energy is affecting you and the energy around you. All right, so you guys chose the rhodonite as your stone. 8, you actually have 5, 6, 7, 8, which is found very cool. And your cards are the King of Pentacles and the Fool, which I find very interesting because the Fool is depicted here as like being penniless. That's what I'm receiving. Being penniless. His pockets are empty, right? He's just starting out, right? He doesn't know kind of where he's going or what he's doing or how he's going to make it, right? He's just got faith and trust, and I've just got to go. Now, the King of Pentacles is very established in what he does. He's very comfortable. He's built himself up, right, to a very comfortable position financially. So I'm getting that this year is, for a lot of you, I'm getting two different energies here. So it's about you becoming more comfortable in your position, right, in your life, feeling a lot more foundational, a lot more grounded, a lot more comfortable and safe in your physical being and your physical world after maybe starting something new or feeling very like unknown about the outcome of something. For others of you, I feel like if you're beginning something new this year or you're completely starting new, I really feel like in the next year, it's going to go from like you beginning something, not having much or not knowing much about your path or about this thing perhaps, but really gaining in comfortability and foundations very quickly. Okay, where by the end of the year, you're like, I've got this, things are going really well, right? Things are really, it's like learning. It's like when you first get on a horse, right? And you're like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. This thing could buck me off, right? It's very uncomfortable. It's very unknown, right? There's like some fear there. And then, but then there's like, you're in it, right? And you're doing it and you get back on and back on. You get very comfortable with the horse. And then you're like, you're a pro in no time. So it really feels like we're becoming very comfortable in this thing that we're doing or in life itself, or things are very much grounding and becoming very real, very substantial, okay, in our world. And we're going to actually continue with this deck. Okay. So we have the Star. We have Justice. And we have the King of Swords. I just want to look at the bottom of the deck. We have Temperance, Queen of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, the Emperor, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Keep that in mind. Yeah. So you see here, the Fool, doesn't have much. I'm getting is like this, it feels like you're gaining in strength within something with this King of Swords. You see how he's got this weight in front of him, but he's very capable to lift it. Whereas here you felt not so capable, not so ready, not so sure, right? And here it's like this is cake for you now, right? So it's so easy. This is nothing, right? I have the strength, I have the capability to lift this, to hold this, right? So this foundation is being built within you, within your life, that's not making something seem so intimidating, or maybe just life in general doesn't feel so intimidating. So we have the Star, we have sorry about that. With the Star and the Justice, right? It feels like things are balancing out. Things that have felt difficult or heavy, right, in one area, or very imbalanced. Okay, this is about things coming through that even out the energy, right? Our karma is being balanced, or something's coming in, whether that be through our own power, right? Through our own practice, through life itself. There's something stabilizing, right? There's maybe another energy coming out to help, to grow. But it's definitely around something that maybe we've deeply desired, we've wanted, right? A dream, a wish, but it's also been destined, okay? It's been destined that this wasn't meant to stay uneven or insecure, or like it was always meant to grow and create and become stronger. So if that's you in doing something, right? If that's something in your life that's meant to hold you and help you, and like a home, like a partnership, okay? There's something here creating strength, right? Growing stronger. So let's get some more energy. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords here with morality. We have the Page of Cups with understanding. So we have the King and Queen of Swords here now. So we are getting divine counterparts, so this could be you and somebody else, definitely. And then we have a Page. So maybe this is you and a partnership and a child, perhaps. Okay, that could be a message for some. That's not going to be for everybody. But when it's here, I have to mention it. Okay, but it feels like look how tied up, right? This person is, right? She's tied up. She's limited, right? Limited in thought, limited in what she can do because of the thought, right? So. And then we have this Page of Cups, which is a complete opening, right? It's opening the cage. It's opening the limitation. So we have been maybe limited in funds, finances, right? Capability. Maybe it's physical strength. Maybe it's, being around certain environments that keep us very closed off, right? Or limited mindset. So this year is about us opening that cage and kind of removing those obstacles in our lives and flying, right? Coming to a deeper understanding of where life has been limited, or where we've limited ourselves, and growing in strength, right? Growing in understanding. Maybe beginning something completely new, right? There is new beginning energy here with something maybe we don't have a lot of. experience with. But this is saying that you will gain an experience. You will understand this, right? You will come to a deeper understanding. You will be just fine, right? You'll gain strength very quickly. Okay, so don't limit yourself with your ideas or your limited thoughts of what you're capable of or what's possible for you. So we have Eight of Cups, letting go. We have the Ace of Swords with consciousness. So there is something here about letting go of a certain mindset, right? Or a certain thought, a certain way of looking at something, right? Because we do have the King and Queen of Swords here, which is all, it's mind, right? So there's something here about us moving on from a certain mindset that maybe that this is going to limit me, or I'm always going to be inexperienced, right? Or I won't get what I need, or I won't be able to carry this, or I won't be able to grow this in the way I want, right? This is us coming to a deeper understanding and trusting in our capabilities, in our strength, maybe both of our strengths, right? If this is you in a partnership, and coming into a newfound consciousness, a newfound awareness, right? A newfound trust in ourselves. And it almost feels like surprising myself, right, what I'm actually able to do. But it just feels like we're leaving behind limitation, where we've limited ourselves. Okay, let's get more. Yeah, it's like an old consciousness we're leaving behind. Yeah, so we have renewal. And we have trickery. And we have recovery at the bottom. Okay. So again, it just feels like we have tricked ourselves, right? This is a card of kind of comparison, right? We trick ourselves into thinking that this squirrel tricked himself into thinking, or the dragon really tricked him into thinking, hey, do you want this? Look how big my acorn is. Like, it's way better than your basket filled with little acorns, So he wants to trade his one big acorn for the little basket of many acorns. So it's almost this card of comparison, right? And the grass is greener kind of thing. And they end up switching, and the squirrel can't even do anything with that because it's too big. He can't get into it. And the dragon, these little acorns are difficult for him to deal with, and he can't. It's not a good deal for any of them at the end of the day. So, it seems like we've been stuck in a mindset of the grass is greener, or comparing our path with other people's path, or comparing our relationship, or our finances, or the place in which we've been able to get to within our destiny or within our path in some way with other people's. But if you had been given their path, you wouldn't have been happy with it, right? Or if you do what they recommend you do, it won't end up giving you the same result, right? So there's this renewal of faith and understanding, right? And consciousness of, really deepening into your own path, into your own comfortability of who you are, right? And what you're building in the way that you're doing it. And so it feels like there's this opening up. There's a peace, a deep grounding that's coming in for you this year that makes you feel at home within yourself and at home with how you do things, right? And knowing that you have what it takes, or you have the strength, or seeing the strength, right? Seeing the progress in yourself and in this path that you've chosen, that doesn't allow this trickery of the heart and the mind to pull you off of that, or to like lose your faith in yourself, right? There's a recovery of some key, right, to the door of abundance, of self-knowing, right, of this newfound sense of comfortability, right, consciousness, destiny that we're reaching this year. So we have the Hermit with solitude. We have the Suffering in Silence, which is the Nine of Swords. We have 2 9s. Wow, you have 3 9s. You have the 9 of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. Look at that, 999. That flipped out right away. So this year, okay, is a year of attainment for you with the 3 9s. Okay, there's something big coming to an end. We're attaining something of a deep wish. But it's about us following our own path and our own instincts, right? Suffering in silence. It's like, this feels like, yes, you may feel like you're on a very solo journey, or there's something about it that's very independent, or you feel alone in certain ways. And this is for a reason. This is for your growth. This is for strength. Like, you're really building strength within yourself, within your own resolve of like, this is the path I need to take. Listening to only yourself, right? Learning about yourself in a much deeper way, because what that's taking you to by this year is a huge fulfillment. It's a huge wish fulfillment, okay? It's your dream. It's something that you deeply desire, but your soul had to struggle in this way, right? Break out of old mindsets, break out of old ways of doing things, break out of old, places, consciousness, right? And it feels lonely, right, when we do those things, because we're out on a limb, we're out doing something that not many people do, or like, why are you on that path, right? Why did you take this? Why did you risk that, right? But we had to do it for our soul's strength, and we had to do it to fulfill a deep desire, a deep wish within ourselves. So we are attaining that wish, right? It just comes with those growing pains of gaining strength, of building muscle, right? Coming to that deeper understanding, that deeper soul understanding. This is about us breaking the chains of the past, the limitations of the past, and bringing ourselves into an oasis, right? Into a place of beauty, of love, of fulfillment within our own soul. Yeah, look at that. Victory and success, 6 of Wands. So this is about your personal victory and success. And you are going to achieve this and attain this, right? This is about you attaining that ultimate success through the way that feels the best to you, right? The most right for you, not anyone else, right? Not anyone else's path or how they did it. This is about you achieving your own personal vision of success, your own deepest heart's desire, okay? And you are going to do it. Victory and success. This is a year of a huge personal victory for you. Okay, so let's ask some advice here. So we have the 8 of Cups, emotional withdrawal. We have the Star with hope. And there we go. Came out 6 of Wands, victory and success. Yeah. So basically they're telling you that this year you're going to be on a seeking journey, right? You are going to be seeking. There are going to be moments where you need to take yourself out emotionally, right? Emotionally withdraw from maybe people, places, and things to sit alone, right? In contemplation and meditation, because it really does feel like you're on a journey that not many can understand. Okay, and so you really have to tune into yourself and your own sense of direction. But this is saying, like, you are your light. You have the light. You have the guidance within you, right? Let your light, let your desire, your wish, right, your own light guide you, right? And the light of source, let that guide you, because it is guiding you towards your victory and success. So there is, and they want you to know, there is so much hope and healing, and this is the path of your destiny. This is the path of your highest vibration, highest desire. Okay, so even if you had to leave something behind, and even if that was a very difficult move, or there's going to be things that you're leaving behind, that's difficult, and it means you have to go at things alone in certain ways, right? That this is your path to get to that fulfillment for you, to get to that victory, that success, that wish, right, that you deeply have within your soul. Okay, so even when things get difficult, know that it is aligned, and it is just here to grow you, to build your strength, to build a deeper understanding. But it is the path, right? And you will have the success. You're going to hit a big dream this year, right? It's going to be very clear to you why everything had to happen the way it did, why you maybe had to suffer, why you maybe had to go at certain things alone, in solitude. Okay, it's going to become clear to you this year. It's about you meeting some higher path, higher destiny in your life. Okay, pile number 2. Thank you so much for coming to your reading today. I hope this was helpful for you in some way. Please let me know in the comments if it was. Also, let me know by giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to know more about your own situation, you can book a personal reading with me down in the description box. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one, pile 2. All of my love. Peace. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your Fire Horse portal. All right, what this year of the Fire Horse, today is the Chinese New Year. It's the beginning of the year of the Fire Horse. What this means for you in your life, what this is going to entail for you for the next year, basically, and how it's going to affect your life. So you guys have Light. Your numbers are 12, 9, 4, and 3. And your starter cards here are, you have Vision, number 41. You have 33 with Regret. And you have 26 with Movement. And we also have 4 plus 1 is 5, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 2 plus 6 is 7. So we have 5, 6, 7. So a lot of progress. It feels like we're leaving behind some kind of regret. Or maybe looking back. Maybe we've been trying to create something or make something of a vision, but maybe certain things of the past have affected it, have held us back, have kept us from moving forward, right? It feels like this year is a year of movement around a certain vision in our world, something that we want to create, right? Something that we see for ourselves in our lives, maybe spiritual revolution, a certain expansion we want to have. It feels like, I'm almost getting like we were creating with almost, there was an energy affecting, which we see regret here, right? There was an energy affecting our creation. It was almost getting in the way, or us looking back too much, or us like worried that, oh, did I make the wrong move? Maybe it was about a past happening. Okay. It feels like we're clearing something up here in our energy, in our vision, right? That's creating an openness to movement. And I love that we actually have a horse here, because this is the Earth fire horse. So it feels like something is able to open up and move in the right direction in almost a more free way. When I think of horses, I think of freedom, and he's on a beach. So it feels like we're free of regret, or we're free of the past in some way. Something maybe that hurt us, something that was in our energy is freeing us. And it's like we're able to fly, we're able to move forward without this chain, without this thing kind of pulling us or making us keep looking backwards. Okay. So, yeah, look at bottom of the deck, we have adventure. There's a brand new adventure happening for us. There's a lot of open doors, a lot of new doorways, right? New pathways being opened for us within this year. Okay, there are new adventures, movements in a beautiful, beautiful direction here. Okay, let's see where we're going to go now. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands with sharing. We have the Seven of Cups with projections. Yeah. We have the Five of Wands with totality. So yeah, I love this. This is like a beautiful reflection of all the energies here. Okay. Look at that. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups with harmony. It's Three of Cups with celebration. The Fool. Oh my gosh. Two of Pentacles. We're going to take these two. Okay. So this really reflects each other very nicely. With regret, right? There were maybe certain relationships or happenings from our past, right? That was projecting onto our present, our vision, right? Our creation, something that we wanted to have, to hold, to create in our lives, right? To cultivate. So something someone said, right? Certain beliefs. It was just, we kept looking back too much, or we were letting the past almost affect our now in some way, okay? Whether that was actually stopping us, or it was making us almost giving us skewed vision, right, of what was possible for this vision, if it was even possible at all, how it was able to be made, or like if something didn't work out in the past, skewing, you know, the possibility for that to happen in the way we want it to. So there was something there blocking the vision, right? Or affecting it. But this year, okay, is you coming into that divine power and that confidence, freedom from the past, and a real opening and clarity of your vision, okay, of sharing your gifts, of sharing what it is that your power that you hold, okay, is becoming clearer, right? We see it opening, right? There's like transformation with the butterfly, but then there's like this opening that I'm seeing of like the path. It's like, it's there, it's clear how I share, or how I move this forward, or how I do this, right? It's becoming pure. That's what it feels like. Cleansed, right? Cleansed of the past, cleansed of these projections. And so what that means, and I love how we have two cards of fire here, the wands, okay, is saying that we are now free to totally commit ourselves totally put everything we have, right, into this forward movement or into this creation project path, right, that we have been wanting to really maybe throw ourselves into, or really commit in a deeper way, or just really, create in the way that this, way that we've seen it or wanted it to kind of be and feel like. So there's this full thrusting ourselves in and just going for it, but there's no blockage there, right? And maybe this is like working with other people, and so that stopped me before because I didn't trust people. I didn't know how to trust someone. I didn't trust other people's judgments of my creation, and so I stopped myself. This is completely throwing myself into it with complete trust and faith that I will be caught or I will be received, right, in the way that I know is deserved, right? And it almost creates a more higher reverberation and gives me more confidence, right? Gives me more confidence because I know they'll catch me, right? Because I know I put something out there and it will be received well. So, and it's just trusting that I can do that without the fear stopping me or skewing my perspective. And so that's allowing for this movement. It's allowing for progress in the way that we had always kind of hoped it would be. So we have the 10 of Cups with harmony here. Yeah, this is about coming into that deep divine inner love, inner trust, inner harmony, head and heart, totally in sync, right? So there's none of this misalignment, right? Emotional misalignment anymore. It's like total alignment, total trust. And it creates a very fulfilling inner sense, inner peace that then creates this outer fulfillment as well. And then we have the 3 of Cups, the celebration. So again, trusting other people, or just like, it feels like just really finding myself, and that's maybe what connects me to these other people, or it just helps me be more effortless and helps my connections deepen, right? Where it's just this letting go, right? Freedom and enjoying who I am, enjoying this harmony within myself, and creates more harmony in my friendships and my relationships, right? More trust, more, yes, you've got me, I've got you. We have the Fool. And we have moment to moment with the 2 of Pentacles. So, another message of divine faith and trust, right? Leap of faith. So, and then again, keeping the faith with the 2 of Pentacles moment to moment, staying present, knowing the rock will be there when I'm ready to take the next step, right? Not thinking too far ahead in the future, but staying balanced, staying present, right? Staying in harmony within self, within who I am, not looking to the past, not like, oh, well, what did I do with that last step? Or, what did they do? Or thinking too much about what so-and-so would say, or the judgment that would be thrown my way if I made this move. It's working with the energy. It's working with the presence, working with the flow. See, we have all these waves here, working with the flow of energy and emotion, right? Intuition, sharing my gifts, sharing or going down this new path or going into this new area, right? With movement and the Fool, committing ourselves maybe in this new way. Could be physical movement for some, but celebrating that, right? Trusting my unique path, trusting where it's moving me. And just coming into that real heart-opening love and trust, right? Taking these leaps of faith, knowing I will land, knowing they'll grab me, knowing I can trust Source, but I can also maybe trust these people, or I can trust them to receive my gifts. Okay. Okay, so we have the 10 of Swords. We have Judgment. Look at you coming from Ten of Swords. It's like a death. There's defeat. Like I'm feeling defeated, right? Nothing's here. Nothing's growing. Nothing's coming of this, right? And then Judgment. Look at that. Awakening. Being born again, right? It looks like she just got baptized. But it's like opening our arms to a new day. It's like feeling that reawakening, right? To a new life. Opening to a new way of being instead of this feeling defeated, right? Defeatist attitude, right? Being around people who made me feel defeated, or being in an environment that wasn't what's the word? Well, it wasn't cohesive, right? With me, it wasn't fertile, right? In the ways that worked with me or my gifts. And this is around finding myself again, or finding my path again, or seeing the light, right? And maybe even having a new path or a new direction that it's like, feeling that connectedness. Okay. Let's see. I already meant to take all of these. Yep. Okay. See how that like exploded? It almost feels like something ends, right? A cycle of pain where it made us feel, empty, defeated. And then there's this awakening with Judgment, right? It's almost like our heart is judged, and it brings us out of maybe certain relationships or environments or people, or a certain way of ourselves, like looking at things, right? A certain way of the past. And it opens our eyes to a new way of being, of doing things, of seeing ourselves, right? Maybe of seeing a relationship, or trusting, or finding a new community, and it's like, wow. So it's an opening, and then all these cards flew out. So it's like, and then all this stuff starts coming through, right? It all starts happening. It's like there's this moment of trust or of awakening, and then it's like things just start moving like crazy. So we have the Lovers. So again, right, we have harmony. The Lovers is a card of harmony. It's a card of balance. Inner, right? Masculine and feminine balance of harmony within ourselves. But also I feel like it reflects in our relationships with others, our ability to trust in other people, our ability to trust that, I'll be okay if I can open up. If I open up, I'm not going to get, rejected, or it's not the end of the world, right? Page of Cups. The Magician. Justice. Four of Wands. 10 of Wands. The Chariot. Okay, I'm going to read these first, and then I'll pull out these two. Yeah, look at this. 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. In the middle, Judgment. So it's the end of some difficult karma that you've carried, right? That you've carried with you on your back, right? That's left things more difficult, heavier, without love, or without progress, or without balance, without inner harmony or outer harmony. Okay? And this is a year for you to come into total inner peace, total inner balance, right? Having your inner child thrive, right? Having that love within you thrive. And just this, look at how calm this pond is, right? Having a better reflection of who you are. And that comes, right? That comes, yes, first inside yourself, finding that peace, but then it comes outside of yourself, right? Within relationship, whether that be friendships, work relationships, loving partnerships, right? Then you get a reflection, a more pure reflection without the distortions, without the projections of the past. And so it becomes this really balanced, happy, secure, and stable environment around you. So, and then look at this, the Magician with the vision. It creates a more clear picture of your vision. You're able to see your life, your path, your vision more clearly. So this is a year where distortion ends, right? And your energy is at the forefront without the past, right? Without the disappointments, without the heaviness. You're freed of that. And that creates a very clear vision for you, for your life, right? For where you want to go and for who comes along with that. Okay, and so all the distortion about you is leaving. And so you're not going to meet these karmic relationships anymore. These people where you have to learn something difficult and go through something really hard. Your pond is now clear. It's calm. It's in harmony, right? You've awakened almost as a child again, fresh, pure as a child. Okay, which creates for calm, peaceful reflections of relationship, of situations in your life, right? We have 1111, people coming in, situations coming in that are in alignment with you, right? Who are your true friends, true soulmates, true people, true situations that are here to just help you feel more at home, more safe. They feel just like you because you are no longer distorted from your past. Okay, and so again, we see that with justice, right? It's balance. It's equal give and take. Take what you need, pay what you can. It's total trust, right? Where I am, me and my husband always laugh that we're in a high trust society, right? Coming from a not so high trust society where you have to watch your back, you always got to lock everything up. And this is a total trust society. So you guys are coming into total trust where you offer something you can trust that someone's going to give back to you, something that you need, or just an equal energy where they're not just going to take your energy or take from you. They're also giving to you in an equal way within love, right? Within connection. If you need something, I've got your back. If you need something, I've got your back. Right? I don't have to worry about you trying to sneak behind my back and take more than I have, or try to be deceitful in some way. It's like more selfish, right? And so again, we have this movement with the Chariot, and the Chariot can only move when things are in balance, when the light and the dark, when the masculine and feminine are in harmony within ourselves. So that is why you are going to see Fire Horse, right? So much fast forward movement because you are in balance now. So all of this, see the storm behind this car, that's the regret of the past. You were looking too much back there, right? At the darkness, at where I've come from, right? That's about to end, and we're moving forward now, right? Into the clear skies, right? Where things are even and they're fair. And we're high trust, and it's new, and it's fresh, and it feels good. It feels at peace. Okay, so we have the Five of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Wands. Excuse me. Yeah, this feels like a new day, right? Like, look, it's like the weather's getting better. Things are, it's not so cold anymore, right? Maybe our health is improving. It's things, we had felt locked out of something that we maybe desired to have. Belonging, love, right? There was many insecurities, right? There was many things that we were feeling like we maybe never had or didn't have. But this Page of Wands is saying, it's time to look forward. This is about us moving on from this energy, right? And not turning back. This is a new path that we're embarking upon, right? That we're not going to be in lack. And the bottom of the deck energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So, excuse me, us coming into, a deeper sense of confidence in self, right? A groundedness of who I am and what my path is. And complete opposite of this Five of Pentacles, like not needing for anything, feeling very comfortable with who I am, with what I've built, with what's around me, right? Creating my own environment. You've come a long way. And it's time to really deepen in that. It's time to really create this more balanced and true reflection of your inner world, right? Of the care that you've been able to take for yourself, right? It's no longer looking at the past with regret, but just being present with what is and what I've been able to create and what I've been able to cultivate, in myself, in my life, and just, looking forward and being present with what is. Okay, so let's get a little bit of advice here. I mean, we've had some advice, but maybe we can just get a little more clarity. We have the Knight of Wands, Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands. Look at all this fire. This is a very, fiery year. And the Two of Cups. Beautiful. So, yes, this is an amazing year for you, the fire horse, right? The power is going to be in your hands. You're going to feel it. Look, he's holding the staff. The staff comes in, right? This energy of creation, energy of power, and yielding that power and knowing how to yield that power and yielding it in a way, right, that feels inspiring to you and purposeful to you. And it's going to create a lot of progress. You're going to have a ton of progress, and look at how much you're receiving, right? You're receiving inspiration, you're receiving power, you're receiving, guidance and people and clients and friendships, right? You are receiving so much spiritually, but also creatively. It just feels very creative. It feels very spiritual. Downloads, inspirations, right? Because this blockage is no longer there. There's no longer anything stopping all of this energy from coming in and helping you along, really, really pushing you in the right direction, right? And feeling that support, feeling that fire, that juice, right? And then we have the Two of Cups. So you really coming into union. I just saw 25 on the timer, right? We see lotus flowers, like you really blossoming, and it's going to unify you with people, places, and things, right? In a way that helps you in the right direction. So don't be afraid, right? There are amazing connections, amazing people that are going to be attracted to your energy. There's just so much coming in for you as forms of love, right? As forms of trust, people you can trust, situations you can trust. Even in, work relationships, it's no longer going to be, even if it's like, clients or people you want to work with, professionally, it's no longer going to be this thing where they're trying to get the better of you or like get you to work way too much for a very small price. You are going to be appreciated for the work you're doing because you appreciate yourself, because you understand what you hold, right? The power you hold, the gift you hold. Okay, so you don't underestimate yourself. You're not coming from a place of lack, like the Five of Pentacles, like I don't deserve this, I deserve less, right? You are opening up to knowing what you deserve in relationship, right? In love, professionally, financially, and spiritually. And so you're holding that power, and that's what's reflecting here. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords and we have the Four of Swords. Okay, so very calm, clear thinking, purposeful, right? This is very meditative and very calm and still. But then we have the Knight of Swords, which is, oh, sorry, this is a Page of Swords. So it's finding our direction, right, through peace, right? Kind of opening up our curiosity, letting that move us. But it is about coming out of a place of rest. It almost feels like, you know, a coffin here. And it almost feels like we're awakening out of one level that we've been stuck in, right? And coming through into a new sense of self and sense of purpose in what we're doing. There's this new curiosity, this new openness, this new clarity, these new gifts, right, that we're wielding, that we're practicing with. Okay, now, should we get one last message before we go? I think we should. Okay. All right, are we getting all of these? These two and these two? No. Okay, so that's funny. We showed these, I think, in the beginning. But yeah, you have the Queen of Wands again, and you have Temperance. So look, I love this. So you're coming through as a Queen of Wands again. Confidence, power, right? Glow up. Like really being so sure of yourself and just in so glowing, letting that fire out, right? And not doubting yourself. Temperance. Again, look at the balance here of the light and the dark, of the masculine and feminine. This is your year of total inner balance that is going to move you forward. And you are not going to doubt yourself, doubt your path, doubt your abilities, your capabilities, okay, in any way. You're going to be open to share those things because you look at you loving yourself. Look at you in total harmony, total balance with everything that you are, with everything that is you and encompasses you, right? Not denying yourself, not thinking of yourself as less. It's like you're really in this beautiful dance and you're really appreciating and seeing your beauty and seeing your gifts for all that they are, for all that you deserve. Okay, so wow, beautiful. Yeah. So wow, healing that self-worth in a big way. That's really opening all this up for you this year. So thank you so much. Pile number 3, that was your reading. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this gave you something you needed today for the rest of the year. Please let me know in the comments if this resonated. Also let me know by giving me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to know more about your own personal situation, you can book a personal reading with me down in the description box. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one. All of my love. Peace.